my name is Danielle, and today I have a Keto Favorites Thanksgiving collab. Yes, all of your favorites, well, all of my favorites, keto version friendly, right? So if you guys want to see what I got, go ahead, stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back. So Thanksgiving's coming, which I love Thanksgiving because your girl likes to eat. And me and my girl Kim over at Free to Family said, hey, let's do a collab. Which if you guys have not met Kim, you need to, because my girl is amazing. She's on a keto journey as well, and she just recently posted this transformation picture and she is killing the game. Not only does she do that, but she also has the best, you know, grocery hauls, and she's really, really good financially. She has the best financial advice. She's really one of those people who help you get out of debt and just live your best life. She does a lot of bulk batch cooking, I mean meal prepping, she does it all. Thank you, Kim, for doing this collab with me. I love you, I admire you, and girl, you are real just like me, and us real girls, we gotta stick together. But anyways, so here is the collab, okay? So this is the idea. I talked to Kim, I said, what are we gonna do? What are you guys gonna eat for Thanksgiving? I'm a little nervous. So I did some research, I messed around in the kitchen, and I came up with 3 sides. You know, everybody's gonna have, the, you know, the turkey, the protein, you know, we're not worried about the protein, it's the sides. So I came up with 3 sides. These are more savory sides, I didn't do any sweets, but these are the things that I like look forward to every year for Thanksgiving, and what if I was going to be able to eat them. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna walk you through all the recipes, I'm gonna show you them plated up, and I will link all the recipes down below. So without further ado, let's get cooking. So we are going to start on our stuffing because that is probably going to take the longest since it is a 2-step process. So the first thing we are going to do is a 1/2 cup of butter, which is about 8 tablespoons, and 8 ounces of cream cheese, and I'm gonna mix it into this like stand mixer because I have that. I did let the cream cheese and the butter stay out at room temperature. So the directions just call for us to whip it until it is smooth, and then we are going to add in everything else. I will leave the directions or like the recipe linked down below. I found this off of Pinterest and it has really good reviews. So here. So while this is done, so I got it done pretty smooth and mixed together. I don't know. I have everything down. It's almost like when you cook with butter and cream cheese, it's almost like it has to be completely melted for it to mix like nicely. I don't know if you guys have a secret, but anyways, I'm gonna add the seasoning. We're gonna do some parsley, some sage, and some rosemary, just very traditional seasonings. So we're gonna add those, and then we're gonna mix those all up together. I do have my stove preheating at 350 degrees, and yeah, so basically how we're going to do this stuffing is we're going to make a loaf of bread first, and then we're going to make the breadcrumbs, and then it's kind of like a 3-step process, but I heard this is the best recipe and it's the most keto friendly, and that's really what it's all about, is just getting all your Thanksgiving favorites out there or into your, you know, your meal without, you know, breaking out of ketosis. So we're gonna do a teaspoon of rosemary, a teaspoon of sage, and 2 teaspoons of parsley. And then just go ahead and mix everything up. 2.5 cups of almond flour and 1/4 cup of coconut. So I will let you guys know as we go in. But yeah, so we're gonna start adding the eggs. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding in my flour. I'm going to have 2.5 cups of almond flour and 1/4 cup of coconut flour. And then you're just gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna give it a quick mix with my little thing here just to make sure everything kind of gets mixed in pretty good. so it's not all just sticking, and then I'm just gonna throw on the blender or the mixer. All right, lastly is 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, so this sucker will rise. So we actually have ourselves a little loaf here. So they asked for like 2 mini or like 3 mini bump pan or cake pans or whatever, like loaf pans. I don't have 3, so I'm gonna use this and just fill them halfway so they can be done like around the same time. You only have to cook them for about 30-35 minutes until you can obviously toothpick it and make sure it's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start distributing these. This smells so good. Like it smells like Thanksgiving, and that makes me excited. All right, so here is our, there is our loaf of bread, and here is the other one in the cake pan. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put these in the oven for about 30-35 minutes, toothpick them, make sure they're done, and then I'll show you what part the second part is to this. So while the bread is still cooking, I just went ahead and got ahead of the game. I cut up these celery and half an onion. I used the rest of the onion from this other recipe. And I left the celery, I only use 4 stalks. They're pretty small, and I left them big because Leo absolutely hates celery, so I like to leave it big enough to where he can pick it out. And right now I am cooking up my sausage. This is just the pork sausage that I get from Aldi, and it only calls for 1 cup, so I just went ahead and cut this in half and then tossed it in my pan. So I'm gonna get that cooked up, and we will proceed once the bread is done. So we got probably another 15-20 minutes or so on the bread. Okay, so I just pulled both of them out, and I just took one of these like skewers, and just as long as it, you know how like you do a cake to make sure it comes out clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut them into square bites. Shout out to my mother-in-law for this cool little pan here. Oh my gosh, this stuff smells so good. No, it's not spicy.
I'll try one.
Hold on. So you want to cut them like into croutons. And then we're going to toss it back into the oven. It's still going at 350 for like 10 minutes. So it can kind of like dry out and get crispy. I'm going to sneak some pieces here to my family. Here, babe. Here, Becky. All right, I just snuck them out. Let's see what they think. It's hot. Just came out the oven. All right. It's good?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh no! Oh, that's for the dog. Or for Leo. All right. So that's kind of what it's looking like. So I'm going to toss these back in my oven for about 10 minutes and let them get crispy. And while this is happening, we're going to start on the vegetables. So I just tossed another 8 tablespoons, like another half a cup of butter into this pan, and I'm going to go ahead and let this melt down, and I'm going to add in my chopped vegetables. And once I cook these down, I'll go ahead and add in the sausage and a little bit of bone broth. I'll show you everything as it goes. And halfway through, I'm going to wait about like 5 or 6 minutes and then toss up those breadcrumbs as well. So I have the vegetables in here cooking with the butter. I will season them with a little bit of salt and pepper, but I'm going to add in my beef mixture as well. I'm kind of winging this part here because this is how I plan to cook it, just to kind of get all this fat in there. So now that the vegetables have cooked a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add in this bone broth. So I'm going to add in half of this actually, so because they only want about 16 ounces, so I'm adding half of that. We're going to let these all cook down together and then give our croutons a few more minutes, and then once they're out of the stove, we're going to toss them in here and just kind of toss them around with the sauce and then put a lid on it so it kind of gets a little mushy, like a stuffing consistency, and then that is done. So we're almost there. Okay, so here is our bread. I'm just going to take it and kind of dump it into here. So now I'm just going to toss the bread in with it, okay? Just to make sure everything gets a nice coat. Nothing's dry. Ben's excited because he's getting snacks that are falling onto the floor. Because all the bread is going to absorb all of this liquid on the bottom. Okay. So now I feel like everything is coated. Turn it on low, and I'm gonna let it sit with the lid on for about 10 minutes to make sure the bread absorbs all the liquid, okay? And then I will show you what it looks like done. So this is like a family favorite in my family, specifically like my mom's side of the family. We've been having this every year for Thanksgiving ever since I was a little girl, and I absolutely love it. So basically what it is just, we call it cucumbers and onions. So it's just cucumbers peeled and cut into slices with probably about a half of raw onion. Nobody ever really uses the onion or eats the onion except for my mom. And sour cream as much as you want. And you season it with a seasoning salt. Oops. And it is delicious. It is my favorite side salad ever. And it's super keto friendly. You're going to have some carbs obviously in the sour cream and a little in the cucumber. But for the most part, it is really, really keto friendly. Really good. And it's my favorite. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to peel these and then I'm going to cut them up and I'll show you kind of how it looks. Cut off the ends of the cucumber and you just cut them in slices. I guess this is probably like a poor man's side, I guess. Probably, huh? Like a poor man's side. But Leo doesn't like it. It's my favorite, but he doesn't really like a lot of sour cream, so I love sour cream. It's my favorite. So my grandfather used to come up with these recipes of food. They had 8 kids and they didn't have a lot of money, and my grandfather was raised in an orphanage, so he never came from money, so he liked to cook and he liked to be kind of creative with food and money, and he wanted to make a little bit go a long way, so he would do cucumbers and onions, and he did a lot of other recipes too. Not many are keto friendly. But yeah, so this is one of my old family favorites and I love it. My girls love it too. So like I said, we're gonna take a little bit of an onion. Just very little, because like I said, no one really eats it. I'll eat them, just a little bit though. But I like to keep them pretty big so everybody knows that there are onion slices in there so they can pick them out. That's just kind of the rule. So you just take, I mean, you could probably weigh this out if you wanted to make it like super macro friendly, but I'm not doing that. So that's pretty much it, just as long as everything's kind of coated. You don't want it to be soupy. So then you take your seasoning salt. I like a lot of seasoning salt on mine, but I don't like to overdo it because some people don't. So I always like have more on the side for myself. So it has like a little orange color to it. Probably a little bit more. So that's it. That's how it looks. So then I'm just going to put a lid on this and let it chill in the fridge. Just until, you know, probably about half an hour or so, just so it chills. And then you serve it up like a side salad. And that's option number 2. Okay, so for our last recipe, we are going to do the ever classic green bean casserole. Only thing that we are going to omit is the dried onions, because I'm not a fan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my stovetop on. I'm taking a half a brick of cream cheese. I already have a bag of frozen green beans. I went ahead and steamed them so they are ready, and then I drained them so they have no excess water. And I'm gonna take a little bit of heavy whipping cream and I'm just gonna go ahead and make a sauce for them to sit on. So we're gonna go ahead and add in some soy sauce. I'm gonna do a teaspoon, add that in. We got this fancy one here, so I didn't know what I was doing. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and just stir everything together. You have to be careful with the cream cheese and the heavy cream because you do not want it to burn. So you know, traditionally with a green bean casserole, you would do like a cream of mushroom soup or something like that. So we're just going to omit that and then just make our own mix. You could also use a very similar recipe like this to make your Alfredo sauce without the soy sauce, obviously. Okay, so it has gone ahead and cooked down. It's a really thick, cheesy consistency here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my strained green beans and I'm going to dump them in here. You can pick whatever cut you want. These are just the, I usually prefer the French cut ones, but today we went with just the regular cut. Green beans do have carbs in them, but they're one of those things where it's a green vegetable and I don't know. I don't really count for my green vegetables. I probably should, but I don't. So I got everything all mixed up, you see? You see what I did here? So it's all good. So the green beans are already cooked, so this is one of those really quick sides. You can do this for like a Monday night dinner too. So we got that going, and then now for the topper is some extra sharp cheese here. This was from a brick and we went ahead and just shredded it ourselves. So you're just gonna top it. I'm just gonna go ahead and drop the lid on top of there and I'm gonna turn my temp down on low and I'm gonna let everything just melt together and thicken. And that should be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna plate up all of our meat, all of our sides, all of our little favorites here, and we'll just go over everything that we got for our keto-friendly Thanksgiving. So here is our sides, okay? Here is the keto stuffing. Guys, this is going to be a must-have. This, even if I wasn't keto, I would still eat this over like a box stuffing. I've never actually had homemade stuffing before until I tried this recipe, and I'm telling you, even just for like a once a week thing, if you wanted to just make the bread and serve that to your family, that's even bomb. Like, everybody loves it. So we go ahead and we have our keto stuffing, and it is, I think it's about 4 net carbs per serving, and I believe it serves 12. That's what I'm thinking the recipe says. All the serving sizes and stuff like that will be in the recipe. For Thanksgiving, I'm not trying to count, I'm not gonna use like my carb manager and count everything. I'm just being mindful, trying to enjoy all the, like, you know, Thanksgiving favorites, but a keto friendly version, okay? So you still want to enjoy family and all those things, but just trying to make the better choices, okay? So there's option number 1, there's our stuffing. Option number 2 is my family favorites. Something I told you guys I've grown up with. It is my absolute favorite. Rebecca loves it. All my kids love it. Your kids will love it. Some people might want to omit the onion. Do you? But yeah, so this is just our classic sour cream, cucumbers and onions with a little bit of seasoning salt. Really good, really light, and it's just a really nice snack. And last but not least, I know this probably looks a little crazy, but this is our green bean casserole. So I usually serve it like a little ramekin, and then if you wanted to sprinkle those dried onions on the top, you can do that as well. Very, very keto friendly. Has all your basic, you know, keto needs in there. You got your cream cheese, you got your heavy whipping cream, and you got your shredded cheese and some green beans. I mean, you're knocking on all the major keto groups. So there you go. So hopefully you guys got some inspiration, you got some ideas for maybe some sides, or maybe just a, you know, Monday night meal option. I don't know. Everything that I made, I love. I feed to my family. I will not BS you. This stuff is on point, delicious. Maybe it won't be for your taste buds, but it tastes good for me and my kids and my husband, mostly. So I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you guys are making for Thanksgiving. Are you guys big Thanksgivingers? Are you guys just like skipping the turkey and going right shopping? Like, what is your gobble day plans? Just remember, guys, be thankful. Be thankful for every little thing that you have, because somebody out there is praying for the stuff that we don't even pay attention to. So I'm, as always, thank you. Thank you for being here with me. I'm so thankful for all of you, all my new friends and the ones who've been riding with me from the beginning. I appreciate you and I'm very thankful for you. And I hope you guys have a very blessed and really family, like a great Thanksgiving, and you enjoy it. And hey, maybe you're not eating keto. Oh well, just enjoy the time, because you know, those moments, they don't last. But all right guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you, Kim. Do not forget to check out her video. I will link everything below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.